Good morning. Have a seat with me real quick. This is just you and me. So, good morning to our sleepy faces. Um, I've decided today I am going to do this. You see, I was adopted. This is my baby. He was not adopted, but his father was. Yes. His father was adopted, though. And so the only thing that I really know from my adoption paperwork is very minimal. The information was very minimal. Like, my mom was a writer, and I believe she liked singing. And my dad liked basketball. He liked cars, and he was also musically inclined. Like, that's weird information to give to somebody that grows up without their parents and wants to know where they come from. Well, this is what your parents like to do. Okay, well, my mom was Irish and my dad was African American, and that's the extent of that information. And I'm only going to be able to tell you what half of you is, but it's a start. And I'm actually really, they call it in search for, people who are adopted if they're curious about their family. They call it in search when you're curious about your family. And I've been in search a couple of times in my life, and it just did not. And if I find any of you, if any of you are still alive and I find you, I'm sorry for this attitude towards you right now, but I was just kind of like, well, they didn't want me, so it's okay, it can wait. I have another really big reason to be doing it right now, and it's like the stuff that I learned about constitutional law, that adoption is not actually a legal term. It was created by the government to facilitate human trafficking, so there's, I'm sure, many kids of adoption that their parents didn't even really want to give you up, so there's something to consider. I will leave my contact information under this video for anyone who wants to reach out and wants more information. But yeah, so here we go. What if they're like us? That would be awesome. I think we're pretty cool. Look at his face. Look at his sleepy face. Oh, baby. Go ahead.
Wonton chicken.
What? Is there any Japanese in the past there? Because we had an Asian eye doctor ask my son why he squints like that.
Yeah.
I love your face. You're so cute. Look at you.
Don't put this in the video.
Why not?
We can make this a reel.
A reel? Okay, yeah. Real it is. You know what I believe about reality.
Yeah.
I think 23andMe and the other one are both owned by the same fucking people anyway, so. So I'm gonna sit here and spit in this thing and chat a little more. I love you.
I love you.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. So one of my adopted sisters did this. I don't know if she used 23andMe, but she found her biological mom first, who was white, Caucasian, whatever, and she rejected her because she's biracial. So basically, her mom went against her family's wishes and dated a black man and got pregnant and that kind of thing. Where's this liquid? She found her father, and he said that he had been looking for her his whole life, or her whole life. And they, they built a relationship and stuff, but like, I'm pretty sure he's like, oh my goodness, because we were raised by really, like, we were raised in a very chaotic, nasty, nasty environment. She developed alopecia and she was a golden child. So she was treated the best, but she still developed an autoimmune disease because of how toxic the home was. So I know it could go either way. I've actually read a book too called Journey of the Adopted Self that put me out of being in search because I read stories of parents that just, the reunions were horrific and that was really discouraging. But like I said, I don't know. I don't I don't feel bad about it. Sometimes I get angry about it, but I don't like feel bad about being given up. I don't feel bad about where I was placed either because God was with me the whole time and he literally like I was shown, and it wasn't always God. Sometimes it was my higher self, sometimes it was, guardians, but I was shown throughout my life how my life would go. And I know that sounds like it's like hard to imagine unless you are also like a sensitive, gifted, whatever term you use for yourself. If you have maintained the ability to literally like all it is observing your surroundings and acting accordingly. If you didn't retain that part of yourself when you got here, you fell victim to the programming and you forgot who you are, and that sucks. I did for periods. Life will do that to you, but it's a responsibility to kind of fucking get your shit together. What else? What else can we talk about? Oh my god, I've got to spit all the way up to there. I don't have enough spit to do that. My mouth is so dry, I need like water and coffee. It says you have to do this without no food or drink for 30 minutes. This is gonna be fun. Where's my glasses? Oh my lord. This is fucking horrible. No. I can't even have water. I'm gonna be sitting here all day. I gotta spit up to here. Most people take between 2 and 5 minutes. It's gonna take me 2 to 5 hours. Oh, good. It doesn't fill the whole thing. It's only right here. Okay. See, it's actually like from here to here. I thought I was going to have to spit in this whole thing. I'm like, are you fucking bonkers? What do you need all that for? To be nosy. Be right back. Why do you make yourself salivate? Look at food. I'm hungry. Okay. I didn't want to do it on camera, but I basically like I took my two fingers and like put pressure on the back of my tongue to get my glands to salivate. Wasn't a pretty picture, but I got it. Here it is. Oop, still in there. I hope maybe there's at least one of them, and I hope they're nice. I hope they can explain some things. I really don't know how I'm going to react to this. I definitely carry a very, it could be considered disassociated um, attitude towards family ties because of my upbringing and because of being adopted. I mean, shit, you gave me up. Blessed. They do not have eyes to see. Okay, I'm going to go make coffee now. Okay, so I'm back again. I finished spitting in my tube. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. I finished spitting in my tube and I am myself, so I had to write a letter to stick in here. And I'm going to read it to my son and to you. So, dear, when I told him I wrote a letter, he's like, oh, goodness. Dear person that will examine my spit, thank you so much for taking care of my DNA. I am looking forward to seeing what I am made of. You see, I was adopted. I wanted to send this little note along to share with you why I have decided to do this after 40 years. Now, I just got to let you know, yes, my son knows about things that have happened. I refuse to hide things. I can't. I'm very expressive. He would have figured it out. So it's better he knows what's really going on instead of blaming himself. See, I have gone through periods of being in search for my biological family, but never felt compelled to actually seek them out because the family I ended up with abused the shit out of me. Like, really bad, lol. My mother was a horrible woman. I used to think histrionic, but now I'm convinced she's just a lower covert narcissist. My dad was the enabler, 21 years in the service, fought in Korea and Vietnam, was a police officer in Methuen, Mass., a security guard at Raytheon, and a Freemason. So his body went through quite a lot, and he had horrible PTSD. He was definitely my favorite, but because my mother would command him, he would sometimes beat the shit out of me for teasing my sisters. He had nightmares till the day he died. I think 9/11 really did something to him. I'm not sure what he knew. He didn't like to talk much about it, and I don't blame him. So even though my biological mother felt like she couldn't provide for me and maybe thought she was doing the best thing for me, it's debatable. Will make for an interesting conversation if she's alive, around, and even willing. Same with dad. Yeah, that feels weird. Anyway, the reason I feel like I want to really commit to this now is because I have learned that adoption is human trafficking. Yeah. Did you know this? See, I've been taking these private classes to study constitutional law and history, and the word adoption was actually made up by our lovely government to hide human trafficking. I know. It's such an ugly concept. But we all learn that other cultures and nations are supposed to be capable of. Oh, sorry. We learn what other cultures and nations are supposed to be capable of very early on in life. We do not get to then decide what it will look like if we actually have to deal with it. Because you see, I was molested for about 6 years of my childhood, and I found it hard to identify with being trafficked because it was so regular. It was just another school vacation. I wasn't sent all over the country or world to different customers. It was the same one. And my parents also adopted 3 more children. Such a huge ass mess. I mean, big. I am no contact with all of them for some clear reasons stated here, but I just recently learned that my sibling below me wasn't adopted from an agency like we were told. She actually belongs to my father's sister or cousin. I don't know. That family is huge. The very youngest of us belong to one of my cousins on my dad's side, too. I bet your head is spinning and you will need to read this a few times. It's all true. When the structure of our government was established, it was to protect our rights against the infiltration of ill-minded individuals. Or maybe they had specific countries in mind we needed protection from. But either way, that trust indenture means a whole lot to me. I now know how to use the tools our forefathers of the nation left in order to secure our freedoms. I wish to know this now. If I was really given up, or I was snatched away from them and given to a Freemason because it's just what the government was getting away with, that will make for a really interesting turn in my book. Thanks again. The law. I bet they're going to be like, dude, look what I found in this box. Yeah, so that's what pushed me over the edge and made me actually want to do this. For anyone who's going to be like, oh, they keep your DNA and they do all types of weird things with it, go ahead and let them try to replicate me. This body has been calibrated to receive God's blessings, and they ain't going anywhere else, even if they make another one of me. So
There can only be one.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Bye! So I was just continuing with Swan saying that, like, I'm a walking conspiracy because I have O negative blood. I have universal blood. Anybody on the planet can take my blood, but I can only take blood from somebody who has my blood. How ironic is that? And depending on which conspiracy you follow, like, I feel like, so Rh negative blood types are missing the reptilian genome factor or whatever. So we're supposedly alien or an alien race, or I'm not exactly really truly sure, but I know that that's just another element to my life's path that I would just fucking love somebody to be like, you watch too much shit, you read too much fucking bullshit. Oh, really? Would you like my diaries? Because I wrote those. It gets animated up in here. Bye.